I was really unhappy. And I was like, why do I hate this?
Mm.
I couldn't understand why I hated it so much. Like, I just like, why am I taking the spot of someone who's going to love this? You know, how dare I, right? Be miserable and be consistently working on Broadway. Yeah. Like, what's going on? And I realized there was a big disconnect between the shows I was doing and what I really actually wanted for my career.
Sometimes.
Just sometimes, the sequel is better than the original.
From setbacks to comebacks, this is Love Take Two. Let's go. Hi, Jose.
What's up, Jamie?
It's good to be back. Nice to see y'all again, or be in your ears again, wherever you happen to be. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Take two or take down?
Take two or take down?
Of the week.
I would say my take two is grilled cheese and tomato.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll take that. I'll take a take two of that.
Yeah.
With tomato soup.
Yes. Like, I can have grilled cheese and tomato every single day, especially when it's cold out.
I can have soup every single day.
You can?
Take two on the soup, always.
Yeah.
I can have any soup every single day. Except I don't like tomato soup when it's too sweet. Sometimes they make it sweet, and
I agree.
I don't feel
like,
that.
you don't need sugar
I need more
in
salt.
tomato soup.
I need more salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take down, you might be offended, is Tommy, the Broadway show.
Tommy, the Who's Tommy?
Yes.
No, I love that show.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
I love the music.
No.
Deaf, dumb, and blind boy.
My Thomas bought me to go see it, and I didn't get it.
I
didn't
did
like
that
it.
show.
Did you? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not hurt.
No, I'm sorry you did the show.
Okay.
Speaking of Broadway.
Wait, I have to do mine.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, shit. Sorry.
I mean,
yes.
come on.
Sorry.
My take two is clear mascara. I've just discovered it because my daughter uses it because she's 12.
Mascara.
Clear mascara. It just gives a little bit. It's not like
a
the
glow?
full. It gives like a little bit of definition on the lashes, so it makes your eyes pop just a bit.
Okay.
It's a bright-eyed look. I
Okay.
really enjoy it because I'm a lesbian who really doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look tired. So what I do in the morning now is I put a little bit of clear mascara on, and it makes you pop a little bit. Makes
Should
you look
I
a
do
little.
it?
I
Should
mean,
do
I
it?
think a lot of gays do.
Oh,
I really do.
Okay.
Clear mascara. You just get it at CVS.
All right.
Yeah, clear mascara. Take two. It's in a take two moment.
Take down. What's your take down?
My take down is the Nerd Gummy Clusters. Nerd Gummy Cluster candy.
I don't like those.
No, you know what? It's a choking hazard. My friend choked. She almost died.
What?
On Nerd. And apparently, these candies
How
are
old
a
is this
huge.
child?
My friend?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
she's
your
my
friend.
age. She's
You're-
48.
what?
She choked and she literally, she passed out. She almost died. It's not funny, but it's funny. No, and apparently so many people have, guys, don't eat it. Don't eat that candy. Don't let your kids eat it. I don't let my kids have it. Nerds Gummy Clusters. People choke. I guess we're never getting that sponsor.
Definitely not.
Don't eat those.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever you do, don't eat those. I'm telling you. Choking hazard.
I can't.
It's true.
Not for adults, not for children.
Not for anyone. Not for anyone.
All right, let's talk about today's guest.
Okay, let's do
Lena
it.
Hall.
Lena Hall.
Which you guys go way back since you were
do.
kids. You guys performed together.
We did. We did theater together as kids. And
That's
now
insane.
she's like famous. And
She's
I'm not,
famous.
but that's cool. I'm cool with that.
That's another episode. So we get into her journey from high school theater kid to Broadway powerhouse, the early career moments that completely changed her path. And she ultimately built a career she has today, right? So she's gone on and appear in major Broadway productions like 42nd Street, Tarzan, Dracula, Kinky Boots, and so much more. And she's even now in And Friends and Neighbors.
Your Friends and Neighbors.
Your Friends and Neighbors.
She's on the TV show Your Friends and Neighbors. She plays the sister, and she's fabulous.
She's amazing in it.
She was in a show called Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Fabulous in that, too. She sings in the shows. It's amazing. And she's a Tony Award winner. We didn't mention that.
Tony Award winner.
Lena Hall.
And I love that what she does is we get to find out a little bit more about why her characters have been working so much for her based on who she has been in her real life, which is incredible.
Yeah, she's really forged her own path in a path that kind of forged for her in the beginning. It's a great transformative story, and it was so wonderful to reconnect with Lena. So let's roll Lena's tape, so to speak. Bring her in.
Bring her in.
Bring her in. We have to say hi. This is Lena Hall.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
The Lena Hall, who I know from childhood.
Yes.
We grew up doing theater together.
We grew up
So
doing theater
exciting. I
together,
can't wait
making
to
out with everyone
hear it.
together.
Making out with everybody together.
Like, that's what you did in a theater thing with a bunch of horny high schoolers.
Yep.
Who were
Yeah.
like discovering their sexuality together.
Yep. And
That's awesome.
I think both of our first shows, your first show was Gypsy, was it not?
My first show wasn't Gypsy, but we played siblings.
We played siblings.
Yeah.
In the very first, but we've played like the younger sibling version of the sibling. We played Baby June and Baby Louise when we were ninth graders. Like I was a very voluptuous 7-year-old. And they like, yeah,
I was always so jealous of that too.
yeah, because you played the quiet, shy one. Who
Yeah,
wore
I was
baggy
tall,
clothes.
lanky.
Yeah.
No boobs.
But-
the tomboy.
Yeah.
Go figure.
No, but they put me in like little booty shorts. I just remember this costume. It was like little red booty shorts, and like my boobs were like,
Is it something you would wear now?
absolutely not. No, but I was like up on that stage, voluptuous as an 8-year-old.
I think
So
I
bad.
found a bunch of those videotapes
Oh,
of all the
really?
company shows.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. I was
would love
trying
to see
to
those.
digitize them all from like the the high 8s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh my
they were all
God.
getting destroyed. So I was like, I have to digitize all of this. I digitized a lot of it. I did accidentally find some like, some gay porn
Of course you did.
when I was going through. I was like, I didn't want to see that.
Wait, can we stop there and discuss?
But it was like your dad's gay porn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what you want to see.
It is so quintessential San Francisco what is happening right now. It's your dad's gay porn.
Yeah. I found all my, my dad's dirty stuff.
That's fun.
Love my dad.
So anyway, we were in this theater group, the Young People's Teen Musical Theater Company.
Very long name.
Yeah, very long.
Unnecessary.
And then it was shortened to YPTMTC.
Which is
That's still long.
Still
ridiculously
very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you were in the company, so we just called it the company. But if you were
company,
in the
yeah.
company, you could say that real fast, YPTMTC.
Yeah. Some talented people
Really
in the company.
talented.
Yeah.
First of all, can we talk about your name?
Yes.
Okay. 'cause
Yeah, I wanna talk
Lena
about
Hall
this.
is not the name I know you by.
No.
Can we have your full name?
Selena Consuela Gabriela Carvajal.
Wepa.
Amazing. And I know you as Selena, but now you're Lena Hall, which is so good.
Thanks.
Like good
Thanks.
job with the name. That
Thank
was
you.
and I feel like, and we'll get into this, but I feel like when you changed your name, I feel like boom, things like went crazy for you. Like they really started happening.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I also think it's smart the way that you did it because normally people will take, I know it's an abbreviated version of your names, but usually people take the front of the names, but it wasn't. You took Lena
Yeah.
from Selena and then Hall
From
from
Carvajal.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
So great.
Ages ago, like when in my 20s, an agent in LA was like, your name is too ethnic.
Which is so
Just
annoying.
so stupid. You should consider shortening it so it's easier for people to like, put two and two together. And I was like, yeah, I don't fucking know. They said that I should shorten it to Celine Carva. And I was like, that sounds like some kind of a salivary disease or something. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
Celine
no.
Carva.
And I remember being so
Larva.
pissed off at that person for even suggesting that I change my name. And I left, and I remember going, well, if I was ever going to change my name, it wouldn't be that. It would be Lena Hall. And then I didn't change it until much, much later.
Much later.
Well,
Yeah.
I love that because I read about this. I love that you wanted to make sure that it was also associated being a singer,
Yes.
right?
For a long time, I was kind of against it because I was like, well, Carvajal is an important name because my lineage, the lineage of the Carvajals is like 7 generations of artists. There's like my great aunt is was a really famous actress in the Philippines, but the Carvajal name was like very prominent, and I was like, well, I shouldn't change it because I really
Right.
want to hold on to my heritage. And then I found out that our real last name is Garcia.
Oh, what?
And that Carvajal was a stage name taken 7 generations
Oh
back.
my God.
Wow.
But it's an iconic stage name.
So I was like, oh, so my ancestors would actually literally be okay with me changing my name.
Right, right. It's interesting. So when I
That's
think of
awesome.
I think of you, Lena, like when we were doing company together, when we were doing theater as kids together, you and your family were like the ultimate. Like you came from a performing family, and I would watch. I remember one time We were in the dressing room.
Uh-huh.
And you were talking about how you always put, I don't remember what it was. You always put the eyeliner on before the mascara because you were like giving like a tutorial on the makeup. And I was like this. Like, because I felt like you knew you were from this like performance family. And you and your sister were both so freaking talented. But also you were like always, for a very long time, the little sister of Callie.
Yes.
In the company.
Always.
You were Callie's little sister. Callie was the star.
Callie was the star.
And you were Callie's little sister. And we kind of came up at the same time together. And then we started getting leads around the same time. But we were like the little ones making our rise up. And you were always Callie's little sister.
Always Callie's little sister, yeah.
Which is interesting.
And I was always really down on myself whenever like casting would come out. I was never happy with how I was cast in the company.
No.
Ever. I always wanted to be seen as, I guess, like what my sister would have been cast in.
Right. What you are now. Like.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. I was
think,
always cast as the youth, the young, and I wanted to be
the main,
whatever,
or the older one.
main, yeah. Like for instance, we did Bye Bye Birdie, and like I was cast as Kim McAfee, which is the kid, and I wanted to be Rose, who was the adult, right? And I wasn't cast as that. I was cast as this like cute.
Yep. So you started like I see your start as in my head the little sister. The little sister who has really broken out and become a real star on her own, in her own merit, and is seen not as a little sister at this point, although you are playing a sister.
I am always seen as a little sister. I mean, that's great. It's what's funny is that you go through your career and you have a certain idea of what you want for yourself as an actor, as a performer. You have like this vision of yourself, like I want to do that, but it's not going to happen that way. Unfortunately, it's like, well, unfortunately for you, if you're really trying to hold strong to that, it doesn't work out that way. It's actually there's some kind of this thing that inherently comes off of you that people can sniff. And they can sniff your essence. And my essence has literally always been underdog.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tomboy.
Yeah.
Like the little sister who is like the little pot stirrer, but also, the super insecure. Those kind of characters are just like inherently who I am. And people can sense that off of me. Like no matter how much I go in, I'm like, I'm perfect for this role. It's badass. Like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up some buildings. This is a perfect role for me. It's like, no. Or like it's like, no, we don't believe you because there's something that's inherently
I don't know, Lena. I think it'll come. You
think so?
Yes, I do. I also remember, I'm just going to share so many memories. I also remember we used to have to audition in front of each other. Remember that?
Yes.
I don't remember
that was great.
Yeah, it was, but it was nerve-wracking.
Well, yes, but Diane Price, who was the company.
She was the director.
She's gone, and she was amazing. She did an amazing thing. She made us audition in front of each other, which is the worst thing you can possibly do.
Oh my gosh!
Because you do not want to audition in front of your peers at all. But it prepared me for the world of Broadway 1,000%. The thing that's different about me and my sister is that she is like everyone's favorite person. She's larger than life. And she's gorgeous. Like,
she's got luscious lips.
Luscious lips, like hourglass figure.
Yeah.
She was kind of like I would say, like kind of our Marilyn Monroe. Like.
And she played all the big brassy roles.
Brassy roles, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was so talented, right? And then I came in and I was this little twig,
You were the exact opposites of each other.
Complete opposites. You know.
And Selena had blonde hair.
I'm a natural blonde.
You're still blonde underneath
still
all
blonde
that.
Underneath it all, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was completely opposite of my sister, and you couldn't compete with her bravado and her personality. But what's interesting is that like what happens to us in high school when we're kids really does affect us as adults. Like there's so many things from my childhood that affect my ability to like break out from a stagnation that I'm in because I had something happen to me back when I was a kid, and it just like it's like my own brain telling this lie that I learned was truth back in the day. It's like perpetuating this truth, even though I know it's not true.
Yeah.
It'll perpetuate the truth, right?
It holds you.
Yeah.
It holds you.
So for example, like when I turned 9, I threw my own birthday party.
Of course.
And I invited my entire class. This is how I remember it. I invited my entire class, and my birthday was on a Saturday, and I decorated everything. I wore a dress, and not one person showed up. And that like completely changed my outlook on parties, on inviting anyone to see anything I do. Because I didn't want anyone to not show up. So if they don't know, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
And so it's carried over into my life as an adult where I have to promote, I have to talk about my shows that I'm doing and things like that. And I cannot, for the life of me, get it together where I'm like calling everyone out, being like, I'm doing a show, just so you know, like, or like texting people, or like doing a mailing list, or like announcing it on Instagram. Like there's this massive body block from that moment in time. And what's really crazy is my mom. She was like, oh yeah, I remember that. You did all these invites and you had drawn them by hand, but no one could read anything on them. She was like, I thought about like stepping in and helping you and making them real invites. And she's like, but you know, I didn't. I was like, what the hell?
Mom.
You're supposed to protect me from doing things like that.
Hard life lesson right there.
Yeah. And so, it wasn't that no one showed up because they didn't want to come to my party. It was because I, as an 8-year-old, was drawing probably the wrong thing on a paper. And there was no adult telling me, oh, well, I'll help you, and doing it right.
And there was no adult calling the parents like, no, this is actually a real thing.
Right. Yeah. It's like a big hurdle of mine to cross over because in my mind as a child, no one likes me and no one wants to be there. And so why invite people if they don't even want to be there? It's almost like I see inviting people to things that I do, which this is insane, but this is like kind of the repetitive limiting thought in my mind is like, if I even reach out to this person and invite them, they're going to think that I want something from them, and they're going to think like I'm being a burden or being needy, or and it's a real problem because I exist on, like, what I do exists on numbers of how popular I am on Instagram or how many people show up to the event, and if my numbers are shitty, like, that's a reflection on whether I'm bankable for another show, whether a venue is going to hire me again. And it's like, it is a huge, like, psychological, mind fuck to get out
of. It's consuming. It could be all consuming for sure.
Yeah, to get out of this.
Get out of your way.
Out of this child that thinks that no one likes her. And to get out and be like, I'm the adult in the room now. I'm making these invites. These invites are right, and people are going to show up. Some people won't be able to make it, but that's okay. Like, it's like,
we gotta
flip
get you
the
out
script.
of your way here.
Yeah.
Because you're here. You're there.
Yeah. A lot of the company stuff too really affected the casting and stuff. It really affected the sense of like I've always been brash and like gone out there and done everything, and I've been okay with rejection no matter what. But it has colored my existence in the world of Broadway and the world of TV film and all that kind of stuff, because there's a part of me that, is like, I'll never get this. There's just no way I'm talented enough. Like it's like such a bizarre thing that is
crazy.
I am aware of it now, but it has been this hindrance of a thing. It's almost the self-destruction. It's the self-sabotage. It's to self-sabotage so I can realize what I went through as a child over and over again.
Yeah, that's not deep.
When I hear this story and I think about, talking about your sister, and I don't know who she is, I haven't seen anything that she's been in, but in my mind, this is what makes your characters so much richer than what I imagine your sister playing, right? Like, it sounds like your sister is playing these larger than life characters. And not to say that doesn't take something. It obviously does take a lot of work. But then when you're, like the show you're on, right? Like your Friends and Neighbors, you're you're the younger sister. And, there's a scene, you're just like on top of, you're just on the counter and you're just like eating your cereal. And you are really in that moment of like, sort of being like a slightly messy, younger sister, but the heart is there, right? And so like these characters would not be able to be who they are. You would not be able to play any of these if you didn't have those experiences. So it's not like, I don't necessarily look at it as that somehow that didn't service you or we need to get you in this different place. And I do think that there is something to be said about being set up powerfully and standing in your own truth and having that power. I think that's really important. But the characters that you play are so much richer as a result of all those insecurities that still play out now.
The choices you make.
After I did 4 Broadway shows, so I did Cats, 42nd Street, and then Dracula, the musical.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Which was a great one. And then Tarzan, the musical, right after that, which was also a crazy one.
Yeah.
I was really unhappy, and I was like, why do I hate this? I couldn't understand why I hated it so much. Like, I just like, why am I taking the spot of someone who's going to love this? How dare I, right? Be miserable and be consistently working on Broadway. Like, what's going on? And I realized there was a big disconnect between the shows I was doing and what I really actually wanted for my career. That's when I joined a rock band, and I was like, I'm going to focus on a little bit of TV film and see what's going on there. And that's when I did the reality television show. And then I started, I was being cast as like ensemble, featured, and understudy for lead roles in these different shows, like for Jerry Mitchell. And like, I was like actively saying no because it wasn't supporting where I was like, you know what? I want to focus on how, like, what I want to represent in this world. Like, and I want to only do shows that reflect that from now on. And so I also dyed my hair black because I felt like it was a better representation of kind of like how people were seeing me.
Interesting.
Better representation than blonde, and a much better representation than red.
And you were red for the reality show.
And so I'd like dyed my hair black, joined this rock band, and I was only picking projects that were supportive of kind of this direction I wanted to go in, which was the more edgy direction, which is where long ago, like Radiant Baby had started pushing me in that direction because it was this off-Broadway show that was really ahead of its time. And it got the shit end of the stick because that's right when America went to war it was the Iraq War.
Yeah.
It was right after 9/11.
Yeah.
And so, people weren't wanting to go see a really deep show about AIDS, the AIDS epidemic. They wanted to be entertained and do 42nd Street.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like what was happening with my thought process. And it's really hard as an actor to say no to a Broadway show and a Broadway contract. And be like, I'll do that show up in, ART for $500 a week.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, that's sustainable.
It's hard.
And I was actively doing that. So instead of doing the ensemble, girl on understudy on Broadway in a show that was like da 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 da, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the Jeff Buckley thing. I'm gonna do this Serge Tankian from System of a Down. He did a show at ART, and that was a really like cool show, and I loved that. And that was more of a balance of what I wanted to be seen as, which was more of like just edgy, because I knew I wasn't an ingenue. I knew I wasn't an ingenue. I wasn't like hypersexualized or sexy. I didn't have the boobs or the thing, but I was kind of cast as that. But it wasn't like the right fit. It just wasn't the right fit. Like the right fit was this like off, like out of place, insecure, edgy, like different. It was a different thing.
If we're talking about the show, take 2 moment. It sounds like in the first half of take 1, it's kind of like you let life you. You just kind of let it roll. You rolled with the punches of life, and it took you to some cool places. Then you decided, I'm going to take ownership of this, and I'm going to lead. I'm going to take the reins for a bit. And that feels like that's like your transition into take 2 because that's when the name change happened.
Yeah, the name change, it hadn't happened until after. So I did Toxic Avenger, which was written by David Bryan, who was in a rock band. Like, you know, I did this other show that was like a Scottish punk rock romance show that I was the understudy, but again, it was like supportive of
The mission.
of like what I really wanted to do. And then Kinky Boots came around, and I was like, I have to do Kinky Boots because it's Cyndi Lauper. And if there's anything that's like straight up, like right in my wheelhouse, it would be Cyndi.
Yeah.
And I had been doing the workshops of that for a really long time. And then we came and we did Broadway and everything was happening. And then right in the middle of that run, I changed my name because at the time I was in my rock band. I was under, we had all stage names, and I was like, I'll be Lena Hall. I met this incredible famous songwriter, Desmond Child. He wrote like Living on a Prayer, and like he wrote all of this thing. He saw me in the circus, which was another one of those things that supported like this edgy thing. I did.
Where you were in the circus.
I was in the circus, yeah.
Like actually the circus?
Actually the circus. So I sang all the songs, and there was like all different genre, and it was like really edgy. It was really cool. It was really different. And this very famous songwriter like saw me in the show, and after the show he came up to me, gave me his card, and I ended up meeting him and having, you know, like coffee with him, and he became kind of this little sounding board off of for music and for kind of, I guess, what I was representing at the time. And I was like, hey, I have a question for you. In my band, I'm Lena Hall, you know, and in the music world, I'm kind of Lena Hall. And I actually performed with the circus under Lena Hall.
Oh.
I didn't perform at the circus under Selena Carvajal. And so I was like, should I have different names for different things, or should I just have one name overall? He was like, Lena Hall, you have to just be Lena Hall. Just use that one name. It's a great name. And it's really good. So he was the one who encouraged me to change my name. So I changed it in the middle of the run of Kinky Boots.
Wow.
It was like, people were like, why are you changing your name? This is your like 5th Broadway show.
Yeah,
like,
well, because I want to.
Yeah, and then that was the summer. That was in the summer, I think, of 2013. And then that winter, I was the audition for Hedwig. And it was like all those choices that had been made throughout time, and having this rock band and changing my name. And it was like everything came into this one thing that was like this gift package of like, here's everything you worked for this decade. Here it is.
And there it was.
And then
it was a Tony Award.
Yeah. So it was a long
journey for sure.
Long journey to get there. And I used every skill I learned on my journey there. I used it.
Yeah.
You know, using like physicality. So the dance background really helped with the transformation from my body from being feminine to masculine. And like all of the pain and the shit I had been through in my entire life, it was all there on the stage because that's what I was drawing on. I was drawing on all those insecurities and all the feeling of being like beaten down or silenced, pushed down, I don't know, the struggle of finding your voice, of finding your freedom and being able to express yourself the way you want to. That all was representative of the character.
I have to say, like one place where I feel like you've really shine right now. It's like you're bridging the gap between the different things that you're doing, right? So like theater, music, TV. And one of the things that I love that you recently did is your Friends and Neighbors. It's, you know, I know that when you read the script, it opened up with you singing Radiohead.
Yeah.
And what you did recently with that show is that then you decided to take the music from your Friends and Neighbors and turn it into an EP.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like such a brilliant way of bridging the gap between the things that you absolutely love.
Yeah.
You're putting
It's
it all
amazing.
together.
Yeah.
You are.
Well, I learned, I mean, our whole life is a learning lesson. You don't go into anything knowing how to function or do anything. Like, it's a long process to learn things. Some people have like really good guides telling them what to do or doing things for them. And some people just learn on their own. I've been someone who is stupid and learns on their own because I don't listen to people. Like, I'm like, I'm doing this my way. You know, it's like, ugh. I did a TV show called Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
And
I
on
love
that
it.
TV show, like my character was a performer and a singer.
Yeah.
And I sang all these amazing covers. And when it would air, fans would be like, where can I find this? Where can I hear this? I want to hear this cover. And I would be like, to the producers, I'd be like, we should release an EP or something because people are asking me for the actual song and I don't have that. You know, and they were always just like, well, we'll think about it. We'll think about it. And then they finally were just like, no, we're not interested. And so then I was like, well, fine, I'll do it.
Do you think
Did
on their
the
end
whole-
they felt like it was like self-serving or like it just didn't?
No, it would have served the show really, really well.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just kind of curious about like the hesitation
Why?
or.
Well, I was number 12 on the call sheet of that show. I was really far down. Like, even though like my character was like a fan favorite, but even still, it was like, it was not my show at all.
Yeah.
Right.
It was Jennifer
They're not going to
Connelly.
put the money into.
It was David Diggs, Jennifer Connelly, and Sean Bean. Like that, those were the names. It was definitely Jennifer Connelly's show, hands down. And then
everybody
David
else.
was like, hands down, it was his show. So they don't really,
They're not
That
going
makes
to
sense.
invest
That makes
more.
sense.
they don't.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you
there's-
could sing it on. You can sing them on TikTok.
Right. Well, I did. I recorded my own album of all the songs, of all the songs I did on the show. And then
It's
I also
out.
recorded ones that I liked that were licensed for the show that weren't mine. And I re-recorded them as my songs too. So I like added
Go
a few
ahead.
fun songs that were in the show. And like they wouldn't let me use the show's name. They wouldn't let me use the name Snowpiercer. So instead I called it 1001, like 1001, because that was like a theme. It was like 1001 cars long. Snowpiercer is 1001 cars long, right? So that was something that I used for the cover. And then I released the album and they ended up licensing one of the covers that I put on that
Wow.
album for
That's
season
incredible.
4. I was like,
Okay.
okay.
You're
But
singing
it's
on
almost
a TV
organic.
show.
It feels fluid the way
It
that you're
is.
the way that it's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As chaotic
Yeah.
as I'm sure it is on the back end.
Yeah. It feels so right. It feels like it was so easy. You know, like an easy, like, oh, obviously.
Avi.
But no, it's such a struggle to get there.
To that point, I read an article where you were talking about your audition process for Hedwig. Did you have to fight to audition for the role, or you showed up? It was a choice thing. I was like, there she goes with the choices again in my head. Like, do you remember what I'm referring to?
Yes, yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this goes with this whole Take Two and how you like really like changed your trajectory.
Yeah. Hedwig, I heard, was coming to Broadway. Like they had announced that it was coming to Broadway, and with Neil, who's great. But Hedwig, the show, I had seen it in '99 at the Jane Street, and it like completely blew open my understanding of what theater could be. Like the way it could be presented, the music that could be in it, and like how just utterly moving and life-changing that theater piece could be. Like it really made a huge impact. So I was such a fan of the show for so long, and when I heard it was coming to Broadway, I was like, I have to get in. Like, and like I called my agents. I was like, if you can't get me an appointment, I will go to an open call. I don't care. Like I don't care. So they got me my first appointment, and because of my understanding of the show, I knew who the character was. I knew the character was not like, it's not a woman playing a man. It's not a lesbian. It's not. It's not even it's not a trans character at all. It's a man. It's just a man who's repressed. That's it. And a roadie. And I had been in a band, so I knew these guys, these sound guys at these shitty clubs, like, and I knew how they would walk and set things up and like all of that. So I took that knowledge like with me, and I was like, I am a dude. Like, and I showed up, I was a dude. I brought my guitar player from my band with me to play for because this is not a piano show. This is not a show where you bring your sheet music and a pianist plays it. This is a guitar show. So I brought, and when they called my name, I was like, to my guitarist, I was like, you go in first. I'll come in behind you with an amp. I'll plug it in. I'll set it up.
Lena,
like a
this
roadie.
takes guts. All of these because the pressure is on when you're auditioning for something and they call your name. It's like, like I would always get so nervous. Hi, how are you? Like it takes guts to make the choices that you make.
I mean, I was freaked out.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I was freaked out. I was like, ooh, yeah. And then for the final call, I was called in a bunch of times, and then
What's a bunch of times? I'm curious. Like
4 times.
wow.
Yeah. So it was like
It's
the
more
initial,
nerve-wracking.
and then the next one, and then the next one.
And
then
this
my
is over the course of like
like
2 weeks, a month.
a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my final callback was for everybody, and then they were like, "We're gonna film it because Neil needs to see it and approve, whatever." And it was on a Wednesday between shows. So I did a show of Kinky Boots. I got, I rushed and got undone and, manned out and went down and like in and out were all these people that I knew are so amazing. Like, and I was there with my guitarist, like I brought him, and they were making me wait. They were making me wait for the producer to come because the producer was at a Christmas party. And actually, the Christmas party was my Christmas party for my Kinky Boots.
Oh my God, that's
and
amazing.
He was there at my Christmas party that I was missing, so I could come to this callback. I was like,
We just
I was like, what?
We can go to the party after together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then
That's wild.
yeah, and then for the callback, they something specific they wanted us to do was, well, they wanted us to come in character, never break character, period, end of story. They wanted us to tell a joke that was like less than 2 minutes in character.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, and you're going to do some scenes with John Cameron Mitchell. I was like, ugh. And then they, you know what I mean? You're like, you're going to do what now? Like, oh my God. It's like one of those where you're like,
So nerve-wracking.
so nerve-wracking. You're going to sing with John. You're going to do an improv scene with John. You're going to talk with John. Like, but you have to stay in character. I was like, okay. I was like, 2-minute joke. Like, what am I going to say? And that was when I came up with this idea to write a monologue of Yitzhak and how he came to love the show Rent and why he wanted to be Angel in Rent on Broadway. But like, I was like, okay, wait, but I can't be coming in. The whole thing was so meta because you have to figure, all right, why am I going in a room? If I'm never breaking character, why am I going in the room in the first place? You have to understand why you're going in the room in the first place because you're not, as your character, going into audition to play your character on Broadway in Hedwig. You're not. I was like, what am I doing there? And so I was like, oh, I'm raising money for my Kickstarter campaign to bring Rent back to Broadway. That's what I'm doing there.
Oh my God. This is so brilliant. It's
brilliant.
so good.
So, I mean, like, the monologue that I wrote and like, it was silly and funny. And there was a whole Kickstarter campaign 2-minute video that I did that I showed everyone.
That's the part of, yes, this now I'm remembering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I
you
did
should
this
have
with
Going all
John.
in.
Oh, yeah.
But you sealed the deal.
And then I was late to my show. I was late to my half hour.
Oops. And
But you made it on stage on
did you like
time.
paint a beard?
I made it on stage on time, but
you're
I
not
was
so
like,
you can't be
I
late
had
to half
10
hour.
minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes to get. Well,
like
that's
the-
also female drag because
Yeah.
Because, again, like that was part of the studying for the role. It was like women are inherently more expressive.
Yeah.
Especially with facial, like just inherently their bodies, they're much more expressive. Whereas men tend to be more repressed from their full expression.
Yeah.
Because
That toxic masculinity.
a lot of times it's not okay to do that, and like, and so like emotionally too, like that feeling of there's so much going on under the eyes, but there's not really a lot of change in the face. It's like all smoldering from within. Like that's what I noticed. Like that I was like, okay,
right.
yeah. So there's not like, it wasn't about, I was like, this is not about like the whole thing, the whole character was not about acting. It was literally about the most subtle I could be in the smallest of ways that would still read from the back of the house. Like and that was like such a good lesson for me. It was all about that there's something going on with this person, but they're not expressing the going on. Like you're feeling the going on. You feel the going on because they're feeling what's going on, but they're not like outwardly expressing what's going on.
Right. That takes skill.
And that was
gonna say.
like
Takes
the
some
big,
crazy.
big,
There's all that dance
big
training. There's
thing.
that movement.
Yeah,
like,
physicality
figuring
is
it
a
out.
huge deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge thing of that.
So you won a Tony. Boom. And like boom.
Which was a shock because of the awards shows and how they're stacked, right? There's a bunch of awards shows that happen up to the Tony Awards.
Yeah.
And all of those awards shows will tell you pretty much who's going to win, who's your front runner.
Great indicator,
And
right?
I wasn't nominated for anything. any
Oh,
of those.
Interesting.
I was passed over for most of them, except for the Drama League, which was Distinguished Performer. That was the only one I was like nominated for, invited to. So the setup was that there was no way in hell I was going to get this. Like, no way.
That makes it a lot less nerve-wracking the day of. Like if you
No,
think
still
you're...
no.
Okay.
I was going to say, yeah.
Still
Oh,
nervous.
no. I don't know if you remember. My
Because
speech
right,
was just unhinged.
I mean, that goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of this, which is like now you're there and you're competing against people that are already expected to probably win over you. It's your big sister that's competing against
That's
you.
it. Yeah, exactly.
The little sister gets the Tony.
Yeah.
That's why I'm good at playing. Like that's why my sweet spot is. I think it's my sweet spot because people. I don't know. It's inherently myself. This is why I'm good at playing the little sister who's got mental illness issues. She's an underdog. She's not as like brazen as her brother, right?
This
as
is
John
in your
Hamm.
friends and neighbors,
Yeah. She is wounded and she is extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
But also kind of like the vulnerability is underneath everything. And she looks like she's got pretty together, but like there is something brewing and something going on. You're just waiting for that.
I agree. I was going to say what's great about your character too is like your character is the only one on the show that grounds him, right? That makes him feel at home and gets to be your brother and protective in that way. But it's he's very human anytime he's in a scene with you.
Yeah, because for his character, it's kind of when it all comes off.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
When the character has to come off and can be regular and normal and just kind of shoot the shit with his sister. So it's a great, like I love my character. We've filmed season 2 and that's coming out in April and
it's exciting.
And that's really exciting and I'm waiting to hear if we get a season 3.
Well, let's get it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And the music element of the whole thing, like it's all like coming together, you know, like what's interesting is like just the preparation, right? So doing all this music and having that be something and then the acting thing, like finally being able to drop into my like truth, like myself. It's not myself, but it is, right? There's this thing where you stop acting and you start like just being.
And that's what it feels like.
And that's when that's the key to, especially TV film acting is all about being, and it's so not about acting or.
You don't have to put on for a huge audience, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so much more inward.
Yeah.
It feels like. I don't know. I don't do screen. But you have successfully like made the transition from stage to screen and you're doing an amazing job with it.
Thank you.
While folding in the music and doing
while folding in the music, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like also not only that, it's like my life experiences are also coloring all of this stuff that is happening to me now in my career. The way life works, it's so interesting because it's like after I won the Tony Award, it was like I was trying so hard to, you know, be a lead on Broadway and like lead a show and like I was trying so hard for that to happen and everything, it was just falling apart. All these things were just falling apart and it wasn't supporting me going back into a Broadway show. Like nothing was supporting that journey. And everything was supporting this other journey of this thing that I was like, sure, TV film, I mean, isn't that a dream?
Yeah.
Like, don't I dream of this? But this isn't possible.
Right.
In my mind, it just wasn't a possibility because I felt like I wasn't a good enough actor for that. Like, I was more like stage. Like, that was what I did. And then, but what's bizarre and kind of the way things, timing-wise and, you know, the way this world seems to work is that then it was like, all right, you've accomplished that. It was almost like the universe was like, well, you've done that. You don't need to do that. We're going to do this now.
Let's move on to your second act.
Yeah, let's move on to
writes itself.
Yeah, let's move on to something that's really going to be cathartic for you. It's almost like learning how to drop in and do TV film acting in a way where it feels extremely grounded and like true. Yeah, where it's real truth and real vulnerability on screen. Like that is so hard to do, and it was such a struggle for me for so long. And it was like, all right, now we're gonna do this.
Yeah,
the world. It's like we're gonna make it impossible for you to go back to Broadway. because this is what's going to be happening for you.
Listen, Lena Hall, life is in your corner, and I am here for it. It's amazing. Like,
career-wise, it's been great. You know? I'm struggling personal stuff.
Yeah.
But the struggles of my personal stuff is, again, it's just like that thing of, again, it's like setting me up in a way to unburden of the personal in what I do on the screen. It is beyond bizarre how my life is mirroring what happens in my career and these characters that I play. And I'm like, am I forcing it, or is this actually happening? Like, is it, what's happening? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And it's almost this way for me to deal with all of this heavy emotional stuff that could really like ruin someone, or just like really stop someone from pushing on and like needing to take a huge break from life.
Right.
It's supporting that and like being like, here's an outlet for what you're feeling right now, and it's happening for you right now.
It's beautiful, and it's working in tandem.
It is working in tandem with my life. Yeah.
I mean, I think anything that happens with any of us through tragedy and loss, and I mean, it's only going to make your work richer.
Yeah.
You know?
I've found that since I lost my dad, I have a a purpose that I never had before, especially when I'm performing and singing. So it's almost like now when I sing, I feel him with me. He always wanted to be there every time I did a show. And now, you know, and physically he really couldn't anymore. But now he can. And he is with me everywhere I go. And I just like, I feel his spirit and he was always so proud of me. I feel that with me every time I sing and perform. And it drives me to keep going. Like,
through it all.
Through the pain, through the loss. Because when I was filming season 2, and right when I finished, my sister called me and was like, you have to come home, like now. And so I flew home and I saw my dad and I took care of him for 2 days. I actually got to say goodbye to him, and I had to go do a show, right? I had to leave, and he hadn't passed yet. I mean, he was really on his way out, and I was like, should I cancel? Should I stay? Should I wait? You know? And I thought about what my father would have wanted. And my father always wanted me to go and continue his legacy through me. Always, always. And I was like, I have to go and do this. I have to go and sing because this is exactly what he would want me to do. I left him that night. He died. Like right after I left, he passed that night. And I performed that next day.
That was a neat, deep performance.
Yeah. And that was like, you know, from then on, it was like, yeah, I got to keep going. I got to keep doing this. Like, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. It is to continue this legacy that was my father, that was just enormous. Like my father was a huge inspiration for so many people in the Bay Area. Like, he worked so hard on his legacy and what he did and what he believed and the creativity, and he instilled me with so many things, you know? And like now it's time for me to keep his huge legacy by just like trying to reach for as far as I can go and just trying and doing it in a way that makes him proud every time.
Yeah.
Oh
you know?
When I think about losing I say this all the time, but you're making me realize something a little bit different and new. The thing I always say is when you're a kid, most of the things that you do is for your parents because you want them to be proud. And people forget that when you become an adult, still half the things you do, you're thinking about them being proud when they're here and they're alive and they're present. Like as a man, you think that as a woman. And what you're making me see even more clearly is that doesn't end when they pass.
Mm-mm.
Like when they pass, you still want to imagine them being proud.
Hell yeah.
You know, like all your many successes, which can be bittersweet, right? Like once you lose someone who's the most proud of you, it's like, it's always bittersweet. You got this role. It's like, and it's like, oh, the person that's here you don't get that hug or that thing. But, you know, once you start moving through that a little bit more and you celebrate their lives, that part of them being proud of you does not change. That part of that drive doesn't change once they're gone. And in some ways, it might even drive you even more and inspire you even more, which sounds like, you know, you continue to do. And I think that's so beautiful.
It does. Yeah. It inspires me even more.
It makes me think of that Maya Angelou quote. I'm not quoting this correctly, but she said something to the effect of, when I go on stage, I call my people. I call my people. I say, come, we're going on stage and I need you with me. All the people who have passed, I call them with me. I call them to me. And I do that too. I call my dad. I call my aunt. Every time I have to do something that scares me, if I have to go sing or if I have to perform, Dad, come on. And I put my special earrings on that remind me of him. And like, come on, Dad. Like, it will never go away. And the more folks that pass in my life, they're going to just be added to my group of come. We're doing this thing. We're doing this together. And I feel them lifting me up. It gives
Makes
you
a difference.
strength. It gives you courage. It's deep and sad and all the things.
It's something there, yeah. I'm again, like my life trajectory and the things that happen. It's like I've got the really tough things often feel impossible to go through at the time. But then when you get on the other side, you look back and you go, oh, that was protection. What was happening was protecting me. It's like my marriage fell apart, and the way it fell apart was really horrible. And I was in a horrible state of pain, and I was at a point where I was actually hurting myself in my thoughts. So, you know, when you imagine arguing with someone, or you imagine...
We're creating a lot of stories.
You imagine seeing what you found out, or you know what I mean? Like, it can really damage you, and you're hurting yourself. Like, you're actually experiencing that, but you're not. It's your mind. And I'd gotten on this really dark, just like rut. I could not get out of it. You know, it was the last thing I thought about when I went to bed, and then I'd wake up and I'd have anxiety, and it was the first thing I'd think about there. And it was just like constant. I couldn't get out of it. And so a friend of mine was like, you should come to this ayahuasca retreat, right? I was like, I'll try.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, I was like, I'll try anything at this point. Like, it's really awful. So I bought a car. I brought like threw my dog and me in my car.
You got a big dog, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Which is why I got a car, so I could bring her. And then we drove to Colorado, and we did this 5-day ayahuasca retreat that I had prepped for about 2 weeks before, because you have to do. I mean, it's not something that you're just gonna. It's not like a drug you're just gonna do for fun. This is like a serious thing. So I did this massive prep for it, and I'd never done psychedelics before.
Interesting, considering the house you grew up in.
I'd never. That was the first time I'd ever done a psychedelic. It's the first and only time I've ever done psychedelics was at this retreat for my mental health. What I experienced was so profound, and you know, it's unexplainable. You can't explain it, and trying to explain it obviously lessens it a little bit. And you don't really want to color other people's experience if they want to go. But I will say it did prepare me for my father's passing, because one of the main things that I experienced was my ancestors, all of my ancestors, holding me like a baby and just so proud and so amazed at what I'd accomplished, and being like, you're doing the right thing, you're in the right place. It's amazing to watch. And like the love that I felt from like my ancestors gathered around me, and like them watching me. I knew that when my dad passed, I was like, there's my dad's with them. There. He's with them, and now he's part of this group of people who are holding me and pushing me along.
Oh my God.
And like, again, if my marriage hadn't fallen apart, if I hadn't gone to do that, I wouldn't have been very prepared for losing my father. And like now, death and loss and grief has a completely different meaning to me than it did before then.
Yeah.
Where dealing with that, it's like, I know my dad is there. Like, I feel him. I know he's there. I know he's with me every step of the way. Like, I know it for a fact. I feel him when I'm at the house going through his things. I can see, like, I feel him. Like, he's right there. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm moving this. Like, I gotta clean. You know, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I gotta clean. Like,
There's a lot of stuff in that house.
yeah. But, you know, it's just like, it's this thing of like, it was feeling that and being in that experience and, you know, going to whatever realm you go to with those psychedelics. I mean, there's so much information coming out about psychedelics now and mental health, and they're doing all this research, and it's really inspiring. It's very amazing what they're doing. It's amazing what the psychedelics did. It was amazing. I'm so glad I did that.
We want to ask you something that we ask all of our guests.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then we have one quick little game we're going to play with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, when you two were young,
or even younger,
what's something that the younger you would be shocked by your older self, by Lena Hall?
She would be shocked at how much I've lost, like the fire or the personality that I had when I was a kid. So she would be shocked by how the brightness has come down. Like, because I want that brightness back so bad. I've been trying really hard to find that again.
Well, it's in your laughter.
Yes.
It's in your laughter.
And as a kid, I was really like, I'm still bold and fiery, and like I will still go and do things that like people would be like, I could never do that, right? I will still be bold enough to like do nutty things and take risks, basically take risks. I'm still bold enough to take risks, but I think she'd be a bit shocked at how much the light has kind of been dimmed by experience of negative experience. And I think she would really, really like beg me to erase everything that people have told me that has kind of damped down and to just live as free and like as Lena as possible.
Interesting. Maybe take 3, Lena. Maybe the third act is going to be to figure out a way to bring the bubbly back, bring that abandon. That's the word.
Yeah, it's
bring
like a sense of abandon back. It's like we know what we know. It's like if I could have the knowledge that I have now, but have the freedom that I had then, like, and combine them, it's just like it's an essence that is, you know. And I'm trying to find that essence again. I mean, everything I've been through in the past 3 years has been really, really tough.
Right.
And I really lost myself, I would say, in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Is when I started to really like lose the childlike thinking, where it was like, oh, you want me to do that? Fine. You know, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay, great. You know, it was like really like, it was my personality. And I didn't care if someone didn't jive with it.
Yeah.
I cared deep down, of course, but it wasn't like
the end of this.
It wasn't stopping you.
Yeah. But it was over time, like certain relationships really like, you know, beat that down. And you know what I mean? It's like, I want to do the work to find this little girl again and draw on her happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if anyone can do it, I think Lena can. I think Lena's going to do it. Lena's going to bring it all back, and we're going to have another Tony Award or an Emmy. Woo! Emmy. Okay, we have to play our game.
The Love Boat.
No reboots, please.
Oh my God. We were talking
Can we
about
not
that.
take 2 anything anymore?
Yes.
I'm so done with it. I need
Yes.
original ideas.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like,
Same with the movies,
What
too.
about matching sibling outfits?
yeah.
Take 2?
Take 2, absolutely.
It's bomb,
That's
right?
fun. Come on, like why? It's fun.
agree.
Matching sibling, matching anything where it's just there's like a sense of like fun.
Another one, last one probably. Mood boards.
For sure.
Yeah.
Take 2.
Take 2. I never do them, but I always say that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah, like a visual board.
Visual
Yeah.
board, like or like a
Not on the computer, not
Dream board?
Canva, like actually physically.
yeah,
Oh,
like
physically.
a dream
Yeah.
board.
Well, those are great.
Maybe that's my problem. I've never made
No,
one.
you have no problems.
plenty. This has been so great. This
Yeah.
has been nostalgic to just go
I
down
know, me too.
memory lane with you. And
I love that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Lena Hall.
Lena Hall.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And make sure you're following us, subscribing, and liking on all of the social media.
Write us a little review, rate it, do all the things, and make sure to follow us.
Yes, it's at
Love Take Two Pod. That's Love Take Two Pod. Do all the things. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.